Hi, I'm Diana from a small town in Ohio. My mom raised me all by herself, and she was always my best friend. She never forbid me anything. Take a few more. Let's have a chip tasting tonight and find out which flavor's the best. You're the best, Rachel. You heard that right. I called her by her first name. It might seem weird, but we liked it. She was everything to me, and it never bothered me that I didn't have a father. He wasn't a bad person, but we were too different. He liked dark chocolate and olives, so we broke up after a couple of months. To tell you the truth, Rachel was a bit weird. She liked to try new things and was always searching for herself. At one point, she got really into yoga. When I came home from school, the living room smelled of incense, and Rachel looked like she'd tied herself into knots. Literally. Are you meditating? I'm stuck. Help! One day, she made friends with a couple of hippies and invited them to our house. They stayed at our place for a few days, playing the guitar all the time and trying to convince me to stop brushing my teeth every day. When I was 11, I went to a fair in the fall and saw craftsmen carving figures out of wood. I want to do that too! What a sweet girl. They held a small workshop for me, and I fell in love with wood carving once and for all. I was obsessed with it and spent my free time carving all sorts of stuff out of wood. First, it was small trinkets. Then I moved on to photo frames and even dishes. By the time I was 16, I'd cleared out our garage and set up a studio there. My hobby and Rachel's unusual behavior made me an oddball in the eyes of my classmates. One day, my class went on a field trip to another city. You are looking at the residence of the Florences, well-known British aristocrats. We can't go inside, but we were given permission to look at the backyard. Wow, look at that sculpture! Ow! Diana's got her head in the clouds as usual. She's so clumsy. I was admiring a work of art. My knees get weak when I see something so beautiful. I didn't take insults lying down and always stood up for myself. One day, I realized that Rachel had turned into a shopaholic. I hoped it would pass, and she would find a new hobby as usual, but her addiction got worse by the day. Gods, look at that dress! It's mind-blowing! Just look at the price. Come on, we can't afford it. That evening, I left my room and saw her standing in front of a mirror. She was wearing that dress. Did you buy it? It was worth a fortune. I had some savings. I almost believed her, but a couple of days after that, I saw her in new expensive shoes, and soon after that, using a new phone. Please tell me you didn't rob a bank. Of course not. It all seemed suspicious to me, and I decided to follow her. When Rachel walked into a famous brand store, I was left speechless. We certainly did not have enough savings for places like that. Did you see that? Did she steal a purse? I caught up with Rachel at the door and demanded she put the purse back in its place. Shh! The security guards might hear you. I don't know what came over me. It won't happen again. She promised to stop, but new things kept popping up at our house every day. This can't go on. You're a kleptomaniac. Don't be ridiculous. I'm fine. One day, I was in my room when I heard loud voices. When I came downstairs, I saw Rachel and a guy I didn't recognize. If you don't return my money, you'll be in a world of trouble. Who was that? You were right. I went too far. A week ago, I stole an expensive laptop and accidentally broke it. The store owners found out and said they would call the police if I didn't pay for it. I asked the leader of a local gang for help. His name is Chase. He gave me a loan and now he wants his money back. Are you nuts? You should have sold something. Actually, I did sell a couple of expensive items to pay off my debt, but Chase said there's interest. Should we go to the police? No way! What if they find out I've been stealing? We desperately needed money, and I started to promote my works on social media. Even though I sold a few of my carvings, it wasn't enough. While I was trying to figure out what to do, Rachel came home with a new piece of jewelry. Are you serious? Don't you think we have enough problems? I'm sorry, I can't stop. When I see something beautiful, I can't help but take it. You need professional help. We'll deal with your debt and then find money for a therapist. One day, I stayed up late in my studio and fell asleep there. A crash woke me up. I ran back home and saw that someone had trashed our living room. Diana, are you okay? What happened? I think Chase's goons did this. I went out for a walk, and when I came back, it was already like this. We looked around the house together again. It was a mess. Even the stairs were crushed. You should go to the police. This time, Rachel didn't argue and filed a report. We didn't have the money for repairs and temporarily moved into my studio. I slept on an old mattress, and it was so uncomfortable I had nightmares. Every night, I dreamed that I was lying in a bright room and couldn't move. On the last day before summer holidays, I saw an expensive car parked next to our house when I came home from school. Is Mom in trouble again? My heart was pounding by the time I walked into our backyard. Who are these people? We've been waiting for you. This is Mrs. Florence. It took me a while to figure out why that name sounded so familiar. Florence? Like the British aristocrats' residence that my class visited? That's right. It belongs to me now. What's a British lady doing in our backyard? Oh, honey, the thing is, she is your grandmother. Your father and his wife died in a car accident a year ago. They didn't have any children, and you are now my sole heiress. I need you to come with me so I can introduce you to high society. At first I was shocked, and then her words made my blood boil. Both you and my father ignored me my whole life, and now you want something from me? I'm not going anywhere with you! Apparently, ladies don't know the meaning of the word no, because when I went down to my studio, she followed me. There is going to be a gala in my residence in a month's time. That is when I'm going to make an announcement about my heir. If I don't, by law, our entire fortune and even the castle will go to the Bennets, my cousin's family. Why should I care about your problems? Because I can help you solve yours. You and your mother are in a complicated situation, are you not? I could pay for her treatment at the best clinic and pay off all her debts. That was tempting, but I still hesitated. After she left, Mom tried to convince me to do it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You shouldn't let it pass you by. I want to focus on my carvings. I don't have time to learn stupid etiquette rules. Still, I thought about it all night and realized that I couldn't refuse. Mrs. Florence is right. Mom needs help. A couple of days after that, a driver came to pick us up. He drove my mother to a clinic and then brought me to the residence. So, what do you think? I can't believe I'm going to live here. The sculptures are absolutely incredible. I got my own room, maids, and even a personal chef. In the evening, Mrs. Florence invited me for a cup of tea, but the tea party turned out to be an etiquette lesson in disguise. Shoulders back, don't slouch. Your spoon shouldn't touch the cup. It's not like the tea will taste bad if it does. I had another nightmare that night. I was in the bright room and couldn't even move my fingers. My mood didn't improve once I woke up because I had to memorize the names of British aristocrats as well as learn more etiquette rules and boring dances. A few days later, Mrs. Florence invited a French stylist over. A lady should look graceful even when she is wearing high heels. What if the lady has a fear of heights? This color looks good on you. Did you catch a cold? No, I'm just allergic to pink. Pardon? This is a blushing pearl color. Oui? I only got to talk to Rachel once. The clinic forbids frequent visits. Your mother needs to focus on getting better. Soon after, Mrs. Florence said that we need to go to the UK. Only after I see Rachel. It wasn't easy, but I convinced her to let me visit the clinic. It's pretty great here. Listen to Mrs. Florence, and I'll come join you as soon as I'm discharged. She wasn't exaggerating when she called it a castle. There were a ton of servants working in it, and I felt like a real queen. That evening, I ate so much for dinner, I had no space for tea left. You must drink it. But remember the etiquette rules. She was weirdly insistent, and I made myself take a few sips. That night, I dreamed of that bright room again. Being unable to move was driving me crazy. On my way to the dining room the next morning, I saw two maids. They were discussing something, but as soon as they saw me, they fell silent. That same day, I accidentally overheard a conversation between Mrs. Florence and the butler. You should keep a better eye on her. Diana shouldn't leave her room at night. Seems like they're hiding something from me. One evening, I saw the cook put something in my cup when I came to the kitchen. When my grandmother invited me for tea later, I sneakily poured my tea into a flower pot to avoid drinking it. That night, I saw a maid by my bed. What are you doing? I'm here in case you need something. I told her to go to bed, but didn't get a wink of sleep that night. Why did the maids come to my room at night? And why does the cook put something in my tea? Maids are supposed to be at your beck and call. The cook probably just put syrup in your tea. Don't tell me you think you're in danger here. One day, I changed into the work clothes I brought from home to carve something. However, for some reason, my tools were nowhere to be found. Mrs. Florence told us to put them away. Why would you do that? It's not proper for a lady to do such dirty work. It made my blood boil. I took a knife from the summer kitchen, found some wood in the backyard, and started to carve a small sculpture. Is that the Florence heiress? She looks like a country bumpkin. You're right, Amelia. She doesn't look like a lady. I'm sorry, cousin, but she's unlikely to be a worthy heiress. It's not up for you to decide. I think this is Miss Bennet, and Amelia is her granddaughter. Before leaving, Amelia came up to me again. You'd better give up or leave, or you'll regret ever coming here. Did you practice that in front of a mirror? Such stupid threats aren't gonna work on me. The next day, something terrible happened. When I walked into my room, I saw a huge crow against my bed. It turned out to be a dummy. What is it doing in my room? We'll get rid of it right away. However, when the butler and the maid came into my room, the bird was no longer there. Whenever I wandered around the castle, I often heard strange noises. Once, before going to bed, I felt like someone was watching me. I asked the maids to take a look around, but they didn't find anyone. After yet another sleepless night, I went out for a run to get some air and saw a monster among the trees. But when I took a closer look at it, I realized that it was just a person in a mask and a cloak. Amelia! Is this your doing? I tried to catch up with her, but that witch got away. Are you sure it was Amelia? Her whole family went to another city. She couldn't have been there. I knew I'd seen Amelia. Besides, who else would try to scare me? Soon, I noticed that the dishes the cook made for me tasted strange. It's like they're trying to drive me crazy. One day, I heard Mrs. Florence talking to someone on the phone. You shouldn't come here yet, Rachel. Think of what's best for her. That's for me to decide. Let me talk to Mom. She hung up. I used my own phone to call Rachel, but her phone was unavailable. That day, I decided not to eat or drink anything except bottled water. I need to get to the bottom of it. I was lying awake that night and saw the maids and the butler walk into my room. What the heck are you doing here again? They looked ominous, and I felt uneasy. Get out! I pushed them out into the hallway and saw guards there. What do you all want from me? Even after locking the door, I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. In the morning, I talked to Mrs. Florence. I want to go back to America. Calm down. I've talked to the staff. They won't bother you anymore. It's not just that. I want to be with Rachel and do what I love. I feel like I'm going to go crazy if I spend any more time here. Okay. The driver will take you to the airport tonight. That afternoon, I dozed off in my room. I was having my usual nightmare until I was woken by some sort of crashing sound. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in the middle of a trashed living room. What's going on here? Leave us for a moment, please. After everyone had left, Mrs. Florence told me something that turned my world upside down. Your father often sleepwalked at night. When that happened, he sometimes hurt himself or others around him. Eventually, such episodes began to occur not only when he slept, but during the day as well. He was prescribed special medication. One day, he forgot to take it and got behind the wheel. He saw something that wasn't there and got into an accident. I already knew what she was going to say next and was terrified to hear it. You inherited the disorder. Your mother isn't in a clinic. The doctors told us to play along with whatever you saw and hide the truth from you. You mean I did this? Here and back at home, too? I realized that no one in the castle had been trying to scare me. It was all in my head. Am I really crazy? It'll be all right. You just need to take your medicine on time. We've been putting it in your tea. The butler and the maids are watching over you in case you leave your room at night. I'm sorry we took your tools, but they're too dangerous for you to use. At the gala, I agreed to become the official heiress. The Bennets were green with envy. Soon, Mom moved into the castle with us. Life got better, but one day, my nightmare came back to haunt me. This is not my room. I'm in a ward. The next moment, I realized I could move and sat up in bed. Sweetie, you're awake! Soon, the doctors walked in as well. I tried to wake up, but couldn't. I pinched myself and it hurt. Am I dreaming? Honey, you've been in a coma for a few weeks. After Chase trashed our house, you tripped over something on the stairs, fell and hit your head. Even the stairs are crushed. Ah! At that moment, I realized that the white room in my nightmares had been the reality, and my life in England, Mrs. Florence, and everything else that had happened was only in my head. It seemed so real. There's a lot we don't know about comas. It is a very unusual state. I gradually recovered and was soon discharged. Mom had been so stressed she stopped stealing. The insurance company reimbursed us for the damage, and we renovated our house. Chase and his accomplices were arrested. One day, I was coming back home when I saw a vaguely familiar car. I can't believe this. We've been waiting for you. This is Mrs. Florence, your grandmother. It's nice to meet you, sweetie. The doctor had been right. There is a lot we don't know about being in a coma. Could I have seen my future? What do you think? Tell me in the comments down below.